When you think of pyramids, what comes to mind? Sure, geometry class. But what about that country known as Egypt? It's where the pyramids happen to be. And we also have community out there in Egypt. And as a part of our ongoing series of travel tips for geeks, we're trying to find out some things to do wherever you happen to be from. And Tarek Saber is from Egypt, so he submitted 10 things that you might do when you go to Egypt if you haven't already been there, or if you don't live there already. Number 1, the Botanical Garden. Yes, believe it or not, they have gardens in Egypt. You thought it was all desert? Oh, nay, nay. As a matter of fact, it didn't always used to be the way it is now. You know that. And if you didn't know that, you're in denial. Sorry, and he's got some typos here. English is not his first language, so I'm going to do my best to navigate these waters here. The island lies in the middle of the Nile at Aswan and is home to over 30 varieties of palm and tropical plants from around the world. The effect is lush and exotic and attracts colorful birds, waterfowl, and egrets. Open daily with a cafe and a gift shop. And assumedly in the gift shop, you could get souvenirs. Number 2, the High Dam. Dam! D-A-M. That's how you... The High Dam is a bit disappointing, as apparently it's not that high. Damn! Damn! As it does not seem that high. The view back down the Nile is very nice, and it seems a waste not to visit it while you're in Aswan. The High Dam was built from 1960 to 1971 and measures 12,562 feet across and created Lake Nasser. The water power generates electricity for most of Egypt. Number 3, Al-Souk. Al-Souk is the main street for market shopping in Aswan. At this popular street market, there are spices, souvenirs, baskets, colorful textiles and clothing, carvings, and jewelry. Plenty of things to be found there. So we're talking specifically in Aswan, Egypt here. And there are many places to go in Egypt, but if you're going to go to Egypt, this is one place you want to go to because some community is there. Number 4, the Philae Island and Temple of Isis. The Temple of Isis is one of the greatest temples in Egypt. It occupies about a quarter of the island. It is the main temple on the island with its huge, complete pylons and beautiful scenes. You can go at evening to visit Philae Temple for the marvelous sound and light show. The extensive temple complex dedicated to Isis, the goddess of motherhood and fertility in ancient Egyptian religious beliefs. The Temple of Isis was a pilgrimage site popular well into the Christian era. The next place you want to visit is the Temple of Ramses II. Abu Simbel is the location of the most famous temple of Ramses II. It is far from the city, about 2 hours, but it's worth the trip. The most spectacular aspect of the temple is its setting in the rock solid above the banks of the Nile River between the first and second cataracts. The walls depict scenes which show Ramses' greatnesses in battle. Ramses was particularly proud of his victory at the Battle of Kadesh versus the Nubian rebels and depicted on numerous monuments, including this temple. The next place, number 6, the Nubian Museum. Completed in 1997, the museum contains about 3,000 exhibits representing the culture and civilization of the Nubian region from prehistoric times to the present. The museum is built on steep cliff land, which enables it to create a full-scale design for the Nile River from its origins in Ethiopia and Sudan to Egypt, and is surrounded by natural botanical gardens which contain the most exclusive and famous green life in Egypt. You thought Egypt was all desert. Well, not in Aswan. Number 7, Nubian House Cafe. The Nubian House Cafe lies on the highest mountain of the Nile, delivering Egyptian drinks. You can see all the small islands on the Nile from this point and all of Aswan. Go there during sunset and be sure to bring your camera. And I can't imagine a geek out there who wouldn't bring his camera. Or her camera. Him or her. Number 8, the Nile Cruise. Can't go that far without taking a cruise on the Nile. If you come to Egypt, you got to do this. Cheap, and you'll never forget it. Number 9, Aga Khan Tomb. Located at the West Bank mountain of the Nile, if you like a bit of a climb, try this. It's well worth the hike. The view is quite breathtaking. You'll get pestered to buy something from the market as you climb the steps. If you don't want anything, just keep walking. If you decide to buy, you won't pay much. And the last point, he says, here in Aswan, Egypt, if you're going to go to Egypt, you got to go here. It is the Elephantine Island. You can spend a few hours on the island in the middle of the Nile, take a small motorboat, or trip, and I can't quite read that word, Fuluka. I'm not sure what that is. Might be important. And have a nice, cool drink while you're there. Enjoy the Nile. Seriously. I mean, this is history, right? Believe it or not, history impacts everybody, no matter where you are on this planet. And you know, we love geeks. They're as much a part of the community as geeks who live down the street from you. We're all over the world, and we're looking for things to do when we leave the house, potentially on vacation. And now we know things to do in Aswan, Egypt, or just Egypt in general, certainly, at least for those of us who have never been to Egypt, never been to Africa. Not yet. Sooner or later, I will get there. My email address, chris@pirillo.com. Feel free to drop me a line. Of course, you're also welcome to join us in our community of geeks from all around the world, geeks.pirillo.com. It's an international set, the geeks there. And then, of course, we also have this chat room, which is a part of a live video feed going out over the web, typically talking tech and speaking English 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.